Good morning and welcome once again to the Lake District. We're in the Central Fells today and we're going to be doing a few Birketts. We've parked near Legberthwaite at the top of Thirlmere and we're going to head off over the dam and head up in the general direction of Crag. But we're not going up there, we're going to carry straight on to Crag and then we're going to go up to the Benn. I'm not quite sure how we're going to get on up the Benn. The last time I was here on the track that runs around the bottom of it, it just looked like impenetrable conifers. But I think there is something of a track that goes up somewhere near the summit, so we'll have a look at that. Then we drop down and back over the road and up onto High Rigg, but we're not going up to the Wainwright summit, we're going up to the south top, which is a Birkett, and then over Wren Crag and back down to the car. So let's take a quick look at today's route. So we're just about to cross the Thirlmere Dam now, and that's looking up the reservoir. And if we look back along the dam, you can see Raven Crag up there, where we're not going, but we are going over behind that, up onto the Benn. And we'll carry on across the dam. We're over the dam now, and Raven Crag looking impressive above us there, but we've already done that, so that's not for today. So we carry on round the road to the right here. We're on the path climbing away from Thirlmere, and it's a bit of a grey day. The forecast was for the higher fells to be clagged in all day, with the possibility of the odd wintry shower, but at the moment it's not too bad. See Thirlmere behind us, and if we spin round we can see up to Raven Crag, which we're avoiding today. We head off straight past that over to Crag, so we'll carry on up this track. Oh, we're climbing the path that skirts around the side of Raven Crag. Oh, and it's a bit steep coming up here. Gets you warmed up on a chilly day. So we head to the col by the side of Raven Crag and then straight on over to Crag, and we'll have a look at the Iron Age fort there. So we'll carry on up this hill. Here we are at the col between Raven Crag and the Benn. You can see the track behind me going up to Raven Crag. Last time I was here it was winter conditions, all compacted snow up there, and it's wooden steps. I'd forgotten me micro spikes. It was a nightmare. There were people slipping and sliding and falling over all over the place, and the place was absolutely heaving as well. So anyway, we're not going up there today, and we've pretty much got the place to ourselves. So we're going to head off over in that direction to have a look at Castle Crag, and then we come back down to this col and then head over there on that track going towards the Benn. So we'll see you when we get over to Castle Crag. So it's great here at the top of Castle Crag. You can see behind us down St John's in the Vale and over to the Northern Fells, which are all clagged in, and then over this way that's looking over to the Dodds, and they're all clagged in as well. But we've got decent views here. Mate of mine's gone up Grisdale Pike today. Forecast was for 35 mile an hour winds, clag and snow showers up there today, so I hope he's having a good time. So from Castle Crag we drop back down to that track and work our way around the bottom of the Benn and see if we can find a route up to the top, and when we do, if we do, we'll probably have coffee up there. So we'll catch you in a bit. I've just noticed before we left to the top of Castle Crag that you can see the summit of the Benn sticking up above the conifers. So we've just got to work out how we get up through them to the top, which looks quite clear. We're on the forest track that skirts around the bottom of the Benn, and we're losing quite a lot of height, which I hate that. When you lose height just to climb back up again. But hopefully I think we get to a hairpin in the track down here, and there's another track kind of goes straight on and then bends round to the right and leads us somewhere near to the top of the Benn. So unfortunately we've got to lose a bit more height before we climb back up again. So we'll carry on along the track and see where we get to. See you in a bit. We've got a decent view in front of us there over to Lonscale Fell and Lonscale Pike. Skid to the left of it, still clagged in. And you can see the path that we're following ever downwards. So we'll carry on. We've got nothing better to do today, so. And Iron Crag is looking quite impressive over the other side of the valley. This is the hairpin in the track, and if we take this branch off to the right, hopefully we'll gain height back again, and this should take us somewhere up near the top of the Benn. So we'll see where we get to. Well, that was okay following that forest track through the trees, but we've come to a point now where to get to the summit we have to veer off the track which starts to head back downhill again. So we go through these trees to get to the top. So we'll see you when we get there. Well, we've made it to the top of the Benn. It's also marked on the OS map as Sipling Crag, and that was a lot easier than I was expecting, straightforward. So you can see views over to the northern fells there, Skidder, Blencathra in the Crag, and then if we spin round that'll be Clough Head and the Dodds, and then over Thirlmere towards Helvellyn, all clagged in. There's Castle Crag. I'm not sure what that is behind. Don't know. If I find out, I'll put a name on the map. And then over there to Iron Crag, and then back towards the northern fell. So that's quite a decent panorama from up here. Worth the effort. Well, it wasn't really an effort, it was straightforward. So we're going to drop down back into the trees, bit of shelter, and have our coffee. So we'll see you in a bit. That was good timing up there. No sooner had I finished showing you the views than the Crag rolled in. It was just a passing shower, so nothing to worry about. We're managing to get some decent views because we're not going that high. All the higher fells are clagged in. I don't think we'll suffer from that. I'm not sure if the Benn where we've just been or High Rigg is the high point today. So we'll have our coffee and then we'll get back down this track, and we've got to get back down to the main road, the A591, cross that before we head up to High Rigg and then back down over Wren Crag to the car. So we'll finish our coffee. See you in a bit. We're looking there over Sulthwaite Beck to, I think that's Iron Crag. Shame about the deer fencing in the way. But we're heading down this track and eventually down to the main road which we have to cross. We're just about as far as we go down this forest track now, rounding the bottom of the Benn, and our next objective you can see through the trees there, that's High Rigg, and I think the one we're going to is the right hand summit. I think that's the Birkett, whereas the left hand one is the Wainwright. So we branch off this track somewhere and down past that farm I think, and then over the main road. So we'll see you in a bit. Made it safely across the road, and we follow this bridleway for a short distance before we branch off to the right up to High Rigg South Top, and then from there over Wren Gill and back to the car. It's been a pleasant day, not seen that many people. We've had some decent views, we've managed to stay out of the Crag, so we'll carry on and get to the top of High Rigg. That's us at the top of High Rigg South Top, and it's a bit breezy up here, blowing the camera around. Behind me, I don't know if you can make out, is Grisdale Pike, where my mate is today. I bet it's a bit windy up there. Anyway, we've got quite decent views from up here. We can just see Bassenthwaite there, and then the northern fells, they're still clagged in, and over this way you could see Clough Head just a minute ago, but I think that's clagged in now. And then the Dodds, they're all in cloud. But we can see back down to Thirlmere, and it's starting to drizzle a bit now as well. So we're going to drop down off the top, find somewhere sheltered for lunch, and then it's just Wren Crag and back to the car. So we'll see you in a bit. We're on our way down from the summit now, and we can see over to the Benn on the left where we were there, and then to the right, I'm not sure if that's Goat Scar. If I find out any difference, I'll put a name on it. So we're just going to drop down towards this stile. I think once we get over that stile it should be sheltered at the other side of the wall, so we'll have our lunch there. We found a reasonably sheltered spot for lunch behind this little tarn, just under Crag, and we've got a view over there to Blease Fell, and over this way the cloud just descending onto Clough Head again. You could see it earlier on, and don't know if you can make out Carfhow Pike over there. Just below the summit of Clough Head on this side there's an old sheepfold called Jim's Fold. Charlie and myself had a wild camp there this summer, but that was before I started filming. Hopefully when it warms up again we'll be out in the tent and we'll film some of that. So looking forward to doing that next year. We've got just over a mile to go back to the car now, over Wren Crag and then drop down. So we'll see you in a bit. We're just approaching Wren Crag, and over behind me over there, or over my shoulder, you can see the Benn where we were this morning, and Raven Crag where we weren't this morning. And when the cloud lifts off some of the higher fells, you can see there's been a dusting of snow on the tops. So I wonder if my mate on Grisdale Pike has had any. But we've had quite a nice day really. We've had some great views, we've not been clagged in at all. It's been a bit chilly, but you strap up well, don't you? We've had another good day. It's been fairly quiet, we've not seen that many people, maybe 10 if that, a couple of dogs, a couple of mountain bikers. So it's been an enjoyable day. One thing I quite like about doing these Birketts is the peace and quiet. They're kind of off the beaten track. I know you don't get the stunning views from a lot of them, and you have to spend most of your day bog hopping on others, and some you have to even do a little bit of trespassing, heaven forbid. But if you want peace and quiet, there are things to do. So we're just going to head on over Wren Crag. Oh, that stile that I came over back there nearly broke my blooming leg. I think I might have to go on a diet. Coming down this side of it, when I stood on one of the rungs, it blooming gave way underneath me. I went flying. Anyway, nearly at Wren Crag, and it's not far from there down to the car. So we'll catch you in a bit. We're on our way down from our last summit, and there's actually some brightness in the distance there now. I think that, would that be Steel Fell? Possibly. I don't know if you can make out there. There's a little dusting of snow on the tops, and there's Castle Rock the Castle Rock of Treemain, something along those lines. That's got to be ticked off yet. I think that's going to be a bit awkward finding a route up there. I had a look as we came down from the Dodds when we did them, and I couldn't really see any way up. I think you'll have to go around the back of it, but that's just a short up and down same route, so that won't take much doing. So we'll carry on down and back towards the car. We're almost back at the car, so I'm going to sign off now. Got to keep my eye on Charlie when we get down there. So again, I've thoroughly enjoyed this. It's not had the dramatic views of the Scar Fells or the Langdales, but also it's not had the crowds, which I love. So I hope you've enjoyed it as well. If you have, please do the liking, subscribing, ringing that bell for notifications, sharing, commenting, all that malarkey, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.